Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to my YouTube channel Calculus and Mathematics Learning. In today's video I am going to start ETEA Engineering MCQS of Mathematics portion of 2019. So in today's video I will solve the first 10 MCQs of ETEA Engineering Mathematics portion of 2019. So let's move toward 2019 ETEA MCQs Engineering Test Mathematics MCQs. MCQ number first tells that find the integral of square root of x plus 1 divided by square root of x into square root of x dx, and the higher limit, upper limit is 2 and the lower limit is 1. Remember that when there is upper limit and lower limit on the integral, so these type of integrals are called definite integral. When there are no limit on the integral, so that type of integral is called indefinite integral. So move toward the solution of this MCQs number first. Taking the given indefinite integral, the upper limit of this integral is 2 and the lower limit of this integral is 1. Over here we have square root of x and plus 1 divided by square root of x into square root of x dx. This is given. Now after this step, this integral of 2 upper limit and lower limit 1 will come down as it is. Multiply square root x with square root of x. So over here this x will multiply with x inside the radicand, so the power of x over here is 1 and over here the power of x is 1, so it becomes x power 2 and inside the single square root, so the square will cancel out with under root, we are left with just x. And after this we have plus sign. Now after this multiply square root of x with 1 over square root x, so they will cancel out with each other, we just left with 1 into dx. Now integrate this. Over here the power of x is 1, so according to the generalized power rule we will add 1 in the power, it become x power 2, and we will write the same 2 in the denominator, and over here the integral of 1 is always equal to x. Now applying the limit from 2 to 1. First we are going to put the value of 2 in this x square by 2 plus x. So it become x is 2, so it become 2 square divided by 2, and over here we have plus. Now put 2x x2 over here, it become 2. After this we have negative sign according to the formula. Now put 1 over here in this expression, so it become 1 by 2, and by putting 1 over here it becomes just 1. Now after this 2 square gives us 4 by 2, it will give us 2, and 2 plus 2 gives us 4, and minus time of 1 by 2 plus 1 gives us 3 by 2. Now over here I multiply and divide with 2, so 2 multiply 4 gives us 8. 8 divided by 2 and minus 3 by 2. Now the LCM is same, which is 2, so 8 minus 3 will give us pi. So pi by 2 is actually the required and desired result. So the correct option for this MCQ number 1 of ETEA MCQs Engineering Test Mathematics portion of 2019 is option number A. Now move to the next MCQs of ETEA Engineering Test of Mathematics portion of 2019. MCQs number 2. It tells that Maclaurin series expansion of cos of hyperbolic x will be. So 4 options are given. Move to the solution of this MCQs. The Maclaurin series formula is f of x is equal to f of 0 plus x into f prime of 0 plus x square by 2 factorial into f double prime of 0 plus x power 3 by 3 factorial into f triple prime of 0, and goes on. This is actually the Maclaurin series formula. Now over here first we have f of 0. So our original function is f of x is equal to cos of hyperbolic x. So remember that cos hyperbolic x is always equal to e power x plus e power negative x by 2. So by putting the value of x0 over here, it become f of 0. So put 0 over here, it become e power 0, e power negative 0 by 2. So it gives us 1. Now after this differentiate this function, so it become f prime of x. Cos hyperbolic derivative is sin hyperbolic. Sin hyperbolic is equal to e power x minus e power negative x by 2. By putting x0 over here, it become e power 0 minus e power negative 0 by 2, it gives us 0. Now again differentiate this function for the second time derivative. So sin hyperbolic derivative is cos hyperbolic. Again using the same formula, it gives us 1. Now for the third time derivative cos hyperbolic, sin hyperbolic, again it will give us 0. So putting the values over here in the series, so f of 0 over here, it is equal to 1. So putting 1 over here. After this x into f prime of 0, so f prime of 0 is equal to 0, so put 0 plus x square by 2 factorial into f double prime of 0 is equal to 1, and after this term will again 0, and this will give us x power 4 by factorial. So the series will be just like this: 1 plus x square by 2 factorial, x power 4 by 4 factorial, x power 6 by 6 factorial. So this is actually the Maclaurin series expansion for the cos hyperbolic x. So the correct option for this MCQ is option number A. Now move to the next MCQs of ETEA Engineering test of 2019. MCQs number 3rd. It tells that if we have a function given f of x is equal to 16 times of square root of x, so then that tells that find f double prime of 4. F double prime of 4 means that we will derive this function for the second time, and then we will replace the given value of x with 4, so that will be actually our required result. So move to the solution of this MCQs number 3rd. Our given function is f of x is equal to 16 times of square root of x. So we can write the function in the form of 16 into square root of x can be written as x power 1 by 2. Now you know that derivative of x power n is always equal to nxn minus 1. So using the same rule over here, it becomes f prime of x. F prime of x means that we differentiate this function for the first time. So 16 is a constant, it will come down as it is. Over here we differentiate this function. So according to the formula, this power will come to the front. So it becomes 1 by 2. And we will subtract 1 in the power just like over here. So it becomes 1 by 2 minus 1. So our f prime of x will be equal to 16 by 2 gives us 8, and over here it becomes x power 1 by 2 minus 1 gives us minus 1 by 2. Now they tell that find f double prime of x. It means that we will differentiate this function again for the second time. So this 8 is a constant, it will come down as it is. Again using the same rule, the power will come to the front and subtract 1 in the power, so minus 1 by 2 and minus 1. So our f double prime of x will be 8 by 2 gives us minus 4 into x power minus 1 by 2 minus 1 gives us minus 3 by 2. Now after this, it becomes f double prime of x will be equal to minus 4. Over here the power of x is negative. So by moving to the denominator, their power will becomes positive. It becomes x power 3 by 2. Now again it can be written as f prime of x is equal to minus 4 divided by x power 3 by 2 can be written in the split form x power 1 by 2 into x. Because the bases are same, so the power will be added 1 by 2 plus 1 again gives us 3 by 2. So it becomes f prime of x will be equal to minus 4 divided by this x will come down as it is, and x power 1 by 2 can be written in the form of square root x. Now put the value of x 4, so it becomes f prime of 4 will be equal to minus 4 divided by put x4 over here and also put x4 over here. So this 4 is cancelled out with 4, we left with negative 1 in the numerator, and divided by square root of 4 is actually equal to 2. So the required and desired answer for this MCQs will be option number D minus 1 by 2. Now move to the next MCQs, MCQ number 4 of ETEA MCQs Engineering Test Mathematics portion of 2019. It tells that let R of t be a position vector is equal to ti plus t square j plus 2tk. This is, let's suppose, be a position vector of a particle. Then its direction of motion at t is equal to 1 will be. 4 options are given. So taking the given position vector R of t, which is equal to the ti plus t square j and plus 2tk. Remember that our distance is represented by SO, or we can also represent it displacement. So over here, if I differentiate this displacement with respect to time, so it will give us required velocity. So velocity is represented by the vertical bar. So differentiation of the position vector r with respect to t, it is actually gives us velocity. So differentiating each and every term with respect to I, so it gives us I, it gives us 2tj, and it will give us a plus 2k. After this, this is actually our velocity. How can we find the speed? So speed is actually find out by taking the square root or taking the absolute of each and every term of the given velocity. So over here the coefficient is 1, so 1 square, plus over here the coefficient is 2t, so 2t whole square, and plus over here we have 2 square, so it gives us speed. So speed will be equal to 1 square gives us 1. Our t is actually 1, so at t is equal to 1, so by putting 1 over here gives us 2 square. 2 square gives us 4, and plus 2 square gives us 4. So it will give us square root of 9, and square root of 9 is equal to 3. Now the direction of motion formula is just like this, that our given velocity divided by the given speed. Velocity divided by speed. Our velocity is actually I plus 2tj. So over here by putting t is equal to 1, it becomes I plus 2j, and over here it becomes plus 2k, and just divide with s actually a speed. So speed is 3. So divide with speed 3, so it becomes I by 3, and plus 2j by 3, and 2k by 3. So this is actually the required direction of motion. So the correct option for this MCQs is option number A. Now move to the next MCQs. MCQ number 5. Limit t approaches to 0 minus t e power t divided by 1 minus e power t into I plus e power t minus 1 divided by cos of t into j. This MCQs is actually related with chapter number 4, differentiation of vector function, class 12 mathematics. So move to the solution of this MCQs. Limit t approaches to 0. We are given with minus t e power t divided by 1 minus e power t into I, and also e power t minus 1 divided by cos of t into j. Now by putting t0 over here, it becomes e power 0. So e power 0 gives us 1, and 1 into t is 0, so it gives us 0. And divided by, if I put 0 over here, it becomes e power 0, which gives us 1, and 1 minus 1 gives us 0. So over here an indeterminate form is generated. So by removing indeterminate form, we will use the short trick for this MCQs by direct applying the L'Hospital rule. So according to the L'Hospital rule, we will differentiate each and every term separately. So over here, these two functions are multiplied with each other. We will use the product rule. So first function, derivative of the second function, plus second function, and derivative of the first function is minus 1. And divided by 1 is a constant, its derivative is 0, e power t derivative is a e power t. So it minus e power t into I. Now after this, if I apply the limit over here, it cannot give us indeterminate form. It gives us a valid answer. So applying the limit over here, t is 0, so it becomes e power negative 1 divided by, if I put t 0, so cos of 0 gives us 1. So 1 into j. After this, it can be written as minus t e power t and divided by minus e power t. I write this as in the split form. So plus minus into e power t divided by minus e power t and I plus e power negative 1j. Now minus e power t cancels out with minus e power t, I left with t. So t is 0, so this term gives us 0. Now over here, minus is cancelled out with minus, e power t cancels out with e power t, I just left with 1. So 1 into I will give us I. So I and plus e power negative 1 into j. So this is actually the required and desired answer. I plus e power I plus e power negative 1j. So the correct option for this MCQs is option number D. Now move to the next MCQs. MCQ number 6. So find the indefinite integral of 1 over cos square 2x into dx. So move to the solution of this MCQs number 6. So integral of 1 over cos square into 2x and dx. You know that cos x and secant x are the reciprocal of each other. So 1 over cos x is always equal to secant x. Now replace x with 2x, it becomes cos of 2x. So 1 over cos 2x will be equal to secant 2x. Take square on the both sides. So 1 over cos square 2x will be secant square 2x. So 1 over cos square 2x is actually equal to secant square 2x. So it becomes integral of secant square 2x and dx. Now let's suppose I solve this by the method of substitution. Let's suppose u is equal to 2x, take the derivative with respect to x, so it becomes du is equal to 2dx. Over here we need with dx, so it becomes dx is equal to du by 2. Now the integral will be in the new differential form of secant square into 2x we suppose u, so it becomes u into dx is du by 2. So du 1 over 2 will be written outside of the integral. So 1 over 2, you know that integral of secant square x dx is always equal to tangent x. So the integral of secant square u will be tangent u. So tangent u and plus constant of integration. Now again replace u with 2x, it becomes 1 over 2 into tangent of u is 2x, so 1 over 2 tangent 2x plus constant. So this is actually the required and desired answer. Correct option for this MCQ number 6 is option number C. Now move to the next MCQ. MCQ number 7. It tells that limit x approaches to infinity, find the value of 8x square minus 500 root x divided by 2x square plus 800 into root x. Remember, there's a very important and short trick for this type of limit when the limit approaches to infinity. So we will look at this function. So over here in this function, the highest power of the variable in the numerator. Over here the variable is x, so the highest power in the numerator is 2. And the highest power of the variable in the denominator is 2. So for this type of function, when limit approaches to infinity, when the highest power of the variable are same, so the required answer is actually their coefficient. So over here the coefficient of x square is 8 and over here the coefficient of x square is 2. So the result will be 8 by 2. So the correct option for this MCQs is 8 by 2. Now you can also solve this type of question by dividing with the highest coefficient of all the functions. So divide all the function with x square. So it become 8x square by x square. Divide minus 500 square root x by x square. Divide the denominator with also x square. So it becomes plus 800 root x divided by x square. It gives us 8. If you put infinity over here, it will give us 0. Over here it gives us 2. If you put infinity over here, it will give us 0. So the required result will be 8 by 2. Now move toward MCQ number 8. It tells that for a function f of x is equal to x square minus 5x plus 2, Newton-Raphson method fail for x naught is equal to 2 by 5 minus pi by 2, pi by 2 or minus 2 by 5. Move to the solution of this MCQ number 8. Remember that Newton's-Raphson method fails when the first time derivative of the function equal to 0. So the derivative of x square is 2x. Derivative of negative 5x is negative 5, 2 is a constant, its derivative 0. So when this derivative is equal to 0, so that will be actually the required and desired answer. That x value will actually the required and desired answer. At that value of x, the Newton-Raphson method will fail. So move toward this minus 5 shift on the right hand side. So it becomes 2x is equal to 5. Now divide both sides with 2. So the required x will be equal to 5 by 2. At x naught, the result will be x naught is equal to 5 by 2. So the correct option for this MCQ is option C. Move to the next MCQ number 9. Derivative of x power a will be. So remember that derivative of x power n will be nx power n minus 1. This power will come to the front and we will subtract 1 in the power. Over here using the same rule, this a is actually play the role of constant over here. So this constant will come to the front and subtract 1 in the power. And derivative of this inner function with respect to x is equal to 1. So 1 into ax power a minus 1 gives us ax a power minus 1. So the correct option for this MCQ number 9 is option A. Now move toward MCQ number 10 of ETEA Engineering Test of Mathematics portion 2019. It tells that derivative of the function 1 over x with respect to x will be. So let's suppose the function is actually equal to y. Let's suppose I consider that 1 over x is, let's suppose, equal to y. Now differentiate both sides with respect to x, so it becomes dy by dx, and take the derivative of 1 over x also with x. So our dy by dx will be d by dx of x power is 1 over here, so by moving to the numerator it becomes x power negative 1. Now you know this rule that derivative of x power n is equal to nx power n minus 1. Over here n is a constant, so it comes to the front and subtract 1 in the power. So this minus 1 play a role of constant, it will comes to the front and we will subtract 1 in the power. So minus 1 in minus 1, it gives us minus x power minus 2. So minus x power minus 2 can be written as minus 1 divided by x power negative 2 is actually the power over here is negative. So by moving to the denominator, this power will become positive. So it becomes minus 1 over x power 2. So the correct option for this MCQ is option number D.